Hi everyone. Good morning. It's Sunday morning today, and there was something interesting that I realized over the past couple of weeks about myself, and something I also see in other people, which I thought could be worth sharing. So the thing I realized is that in life, whenever I want to get better at something, or whenever I want to improve upon, any aspect of my life, I always have this uh, instinct to think about some big change that I have to make, right? Or some big improvement that needs to happen. And very recently, I realized that that's not necessarily the case and that's not necessarily required, and uh, I realized I try to make something very simple a lot more complex. And then as a result, because it's so much more bigger and complex, I struggle to actually do that thing. Therefore, I'm not able to make the change. Therefore, I'm not able to see the outcome in life, right? So I'll give you an example. For the last, I would say, maybe 7 to 8 months, you know, up until 2 months ago, 7 to 8 months before that, I was feeling very, very sluggish. Always like low energy compared to how I usually am. So I'm naturally very energetic, right? Most people that know me personally know that I'm naturally very driven. I'm very self-motivated. I don't really need people to like motivate me or energize me. And I'm usually able to just get up, go make stuff happen, go work out. I'm pretty active. I work out at least 4 to 5 times a week. I sleep well. I eat fairly healthy. I can do better on that, but I eat pretty healthy. But for some reason, I always had this sense of, oh, you know what, I'm feeling pretty sluggish, or I'm feeling like tired than I usually used to, right? And I, for my life, couldn't figure out what the issue was. I was always thinking, okay, you know what, maybe I'm not sleeping better, so I would take extra measures to sleep well, or like do more cardio to tire myself out and then sleep really well at night, and maybe work on my eating, etc. All these things, right? To feel more energetic, to feel better, like taking uh, I don't know, just drinking coffee or like other vitamins and supplements and stuff like that. And interestingly enough, what I realized was the change I needed to make was actually very small. So I decided, okay, you know what? I don't know what the issue is. I'm just going to go to a doctor, get myself checked up, do like a blood test and see what the problem is. And I thought it must be something pretty big. You know, for some time I thought it was the protein powder that I was having that's, not doing well with my digestive system, and I'm having a lot of like stomach issues, which is causing issues with energy. Anyways, long story short, I got a full blood test, including a vitamin D test as well to see, how much vitamin D is in the system and like if I'm deficient or not. And it turned out everything was fine, but I was severely vitamin D deficient, right? So doctor said, everything that you're feeling, it's most likely the vitamin D. And he's like, you're pretty deficient. And honestly, this isn't something that is very uncommon, because it's pretty common in Canada because, winter, most of the year, we don't really have much sunlight. So he put me on a plan of like, uh, I think it was 50,000 IU of vitamin D per week. So it was one tablet for 8 weeks. And then after that, he was like, they just have to like just maintain, consistent vitamin D intake with like, I think it's 2,500 IU of vitamin D per day, which I now take every single day because, we live in Canada. And just from making that one change, the results from that, the impact of that was insane. Like now, last 2 months, I'm waking up without an alarm. I don't have any issues waking up. I'm able to get myself to go to the gym. very consistently without like, skipping a day or two. And I'm just able to do more, like more than I ever have from the last like maybe year and a half, right? And it was just a simple change. All I started doing was taking more vitamin D. And I saw this sort of pattern in so many other aspects of my life. Like anytime I wanted to fix something or figure out something or make some change, I had this tendency to think of like what big change I needed to make, right? And the sort of conclusion I've come to is that to have any sort of big result or outcome, it's not usually some sort of big change you need to make. It's usually small things that you do very consistently over time that turn out to be, you know, uh, that turn out to create a big outcome or big change, right? And this is something I also like. I have another example. So, for example, I realized that, a couple months back, I had gained about 5 to 7 kgs just like that. And I was like, what the heck is going on? Like, I'm going to the gym, I'm working out, like, why? Like, and I'm eating fairly healthy. But then I realized, like, I have this habit of having a cookie every day, like every day in the morning or evening, at least one cookie. And I never realized how much sugar is in like that one cookie. And turns out it was like 10 to 12 grams. So 10 to 12 grams a day, every day, right, is coming close to like 85 to 90 grams of sugar a week, right? So, or 10 to 15 grams. Yeah, so like 85 to 90 grams sugar a week. And so in a month, that's like, I don't know, close to like, coming close to like 400 grams of sugar every month. So I was like, okay, shit, no wonder, right? And when I cut that out, I dropped the weight like crazy. So this is something I've consistently seen that I do, that I always feel like I have to make some big change or change something huge, right? And sometimes I like, in a fit of excitement or rage to make something happen, I'll go and start like making these big commitments and then those don't stick. But then I realized that it's usually something small, something very small that you need to do or change and just do that consistently and that's it. That's the unlock, right? That's the reframe, in terms of what we need to do. And now I've just been practicing that as much as possible in every aspect of my life. Whether it is like my sales role, what is the one small thing that I'm doing that I should stop doing or that I should start doing that will make all the change, right? And it comes back to the 80/20 uh, Pareto principle, where basically 80% of your uh, outcomes come down to 20% of your actions, right? It's just a 15% or 20% of the things that you do that create a lot of the impact. And I'm saying this, it's so simple, it's so easy, but it's just surprising to me how often I forget it, right? And I've seen other people overthink it. Like in sales, for example, you know, one of the most simple things that you can do in order to be able to build more pipeline and close more deals is just make more cold calls, right? It's that simple. Like there's some people I know who really struggle with being able to build more pipeline, close more deals. And you ask them, okay, how many cold calls do you make? It's like, I don't know, 10 or 15 a day. And that's nothing, right? So again and again, I'm seeing this and I'm realizing this. And now I start to realize that it really is the small things, and I need to stop complicating life. Many other people I know need to stop complicating it. And this is what it is, right? So I'd say if there's something bothering you, whether it's in your relationships or your health or your career, it's usually something very small that you could be doing that you're not, right? And let this sort of be the message for you to think about what that might be, and then go and just do it, right? And you'll be so much more happier because of it. Because now, for example, the vitamin D thing, my God, like the impact it's had on my life is it's incredible. And it's like it costed me what, like 25, like $30 or something, right? And that one $30 investment has returned so much more focus, productivity, energy, etc. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's what I wanted to talk about. Um, Looking forward to seeing you all on the next episode. Thank you so much. Take care. Have a good weekend. Actually, have a great day. I don't think you'll be watching this on the weekend because this will come out on the Monday. So have a great week ahead and see you soon. Take care.